crazy out here, man. I mean, there's a lot going on in the streets. There's a lot going on in the ghettos of the mind. I'm saying I write rhymes. Check. Feel my pain like it was yours. Crack addicts busting right through my doors. Bleeding on my lawn, I'm destined to be great. I swear, Jesus, read it on my palm. Tipsy, I'm calm, then I blow up like Vietnam bomb.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Shotz in the Dark. I don't know what I was doing right there, but yo, thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode that probably offended some people last week, and they're probably not going to come back, but I really don't care because I just keep it a buck. That's what I do. I'm going to get these formalities out the way, and we're going to get this thing popping. For real, for real. Hell yeah, homie. Okay, so you know what the network is. Shoot the breeze all day long. Follow us on Facebook. Like, follow. Damn it, I almost said subscribe again. Shoot the breeze. You know what time it is. Boom. Follow on IG and Twitter. I'm literally just reading it. This is pathetic. I wish I was like Breezy where I could just like, do this shit smoothly, but I'm not as good as he is. But yeah, follow us on Twitter at STBPodTV. Boom. Anchor FM. That's your spot for podcasts. Now, me personally, I go to Apple Podcasts because the way, Breezy really, it just sounds so good, man. You could also email us at shootthebreezepodtv@gmail.com. One of us will get back to you. Maybe me, most likely Breezy. He's quicker with that. And we do have apparel on Teespring. Check this out. Fly as frog food. Boom. Okay. So today we are going to discuss hip hop and all beautiful things about hip hop. Our top 10 rappers of all time. I hope my guest has his list ready. We're going to get to him in a second. Special guest today. But yeah, man, a lot of good stuff going on. The news is crazy right now. Bunch of crazy Republicans showed that it's all about hypocrisy over democracy today and stormed some buildings up in DC. I didn't really read the news because it's just stupid. Like, how are you going to sit here and tell people in BLM and I don't know what that other organization's called, but Black Lives Matter, sitting there calling them a bunch of privileged, spoiled kids for protesting. And yeah, some of the protests got out of hand, but how are you going to hold that kind of hypocrisy and go storm? Bro, election's over, man. But you guys are stupid. Just put it that way. I went off on the Democrats last week. I had to go off on the Republicans this week because I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I think they're both idiots. So politicians don't give a shit about us. Anyway, I think it was Bill Burr that said, we're all eating a shit sandwich anyway. And I think he was right. But yo, I got a special guest today. This guest is special in a lot of ways because he's not retarded. It's not that kind of special. You're not supposed to say that anymore. He's not mentally retarded. Something, I don't know. But he's special because he is my brother. My youngest brother. He's my real brother, as you will see when you see him on screen. Because he is almost as good looking as I am. And we've been doing this for years. It's crazy because we're talking about hip hop today. My little brother, I've been doing this hip hop thing for years, man, since I was a youngster, battle rapping, just cutting MCs apart, ripping them to shreds, eating them alive, murking them pretty much. And then I found out that my brother was in the game, and it threw me for a loop because he was actually good. So yo, Breezy, my man, already shot his top 5. I'm gonna get to that in a minute though, Breezy. I'm glad you tuned in, bro. KP, my man, Kev, what's going on, brother? Thank you for tuning in, man. Anthony, Ant-Man, what's good, bro? Hey, you want to jump in here anytime, bro? You're more than welcome. You already know. But yo, I'm gonna introduce my first guest. This is my little brother. Today he is going by T Money on the joint, but he's more in public, like he goes by psychosyllabics. If you don't know what a syllabics is, it's probably because you're stupid. But yo, let's bring in my brother, T Money. Apparently, how are you?
Pretty good. Yo, what's up? Just chilling.
Yeah, my man. Joe, Kev, what's good? How's things out? Man, thank you for tuning in, bro. You're back on the East. It's late over there right now, man. So hell yeah. That's love right there. But yo, we're gonna get into it, man. We're gonna get straight into it. First of all, a little bit of news that's not about politics and all these idiots storming buildings and whatnot. But is that me? Yeah, we live in a shitty neighborhood. Our house is nice though, and it's cheap. But so a little bit of hip hop news. Have you tuned into this whole Snoop and Eminem thing?
I've heard a little bit about it. Like I heard his quote unquote diss to Snoop on Zeus, and then heard Zeus not Zeus. I heard Snoop called it like soft or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and
so
I think he's fucking tripping.
Yeah, so I don't really think what Eminem did was a diss. Now I do think it was wrong because it's like why air that out on a song when that's supposed to be, your team right there. That Snoop, Dre, all them they came up together. Dre basically made both of them. Snoop's comments, I didn't think were that offensive until the end, which I do agree with Eminem. Snoop basically said, and I would play the video, but I'm trying to avoid any kind of, copyright infringement. But so basically Snoop was on the Breakfast Club and he was like, yo, Eminem's not in his top 5 or top 10 because there are cats in the 80s and 90s that just M ain't fucking with. And that's true. I mean, now lyrically, I don't agree. I mean, he was naming off like LL Cool J, and LL was dope, but lyrically over Eminem, come on, man. That's all. I mean, as far as classic and albums and all that, okay, fine, whatever. But then he went on to say, like, after all that, he was like, as far as music I could live without that shit. Okay. Back up, bro. Like, did you have to go that far? You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be in your top 5 or top 10, whatever, right? But he didn't have to go that far. I don't think.
Wasn't that like during Revival or whatever? I feel like he was talking about Revival at that time. I
actually don't know when it was. I really don't pay a lot of attention to Snoop Dogg because he's I know a little bit about Snoop. I mean, as you know, one of my best friends, music comrade, producer, shout out to you, Sin, is from Compton, California, which is very close to Long Beach. And I got to spend time in the streets of LA, Compton, Long Beach, Gardena, all those spots. And I know what the streets think about Snoop Dogg. He throws that Crip card a lot, and he doesn't have that respect anymore. But what I watched today was Snoop was basically subliminally dissing M in like one of his Instagram videos because that's the gangster thing to do now is be on Instagram. Yeah. And he kept talking about Crip this and Crip that. It's like, bro, you are not about that life anymore. Like, just keep it a buck, bro. You are not about that life. And I think it's all stupid. But here's where I think Eminem is wrong. It's like, I don't think he dissed him, but he shouldn't have aired it out at all. Like, he shouldn't addressed it on a song. It is what it is, you know, like, let Snoop talk. That's what he does. That's pretty much all he does now. I mean, when's the last good Snoop record that came out?
Probably like the Blue Album or whatever it was called.
Yeah, as far as music I could live without. You know what I mean?
I could honestly live without Snoop. Yeah.
I mean, Doggy Style, you know, dope. Don't get me wrong. I respect and love Snoop's contribution to hip hop, but come on, man. Lyrically, Snoop ain't even in my top 20. Yo, what up, Melissa? I didn't make Nitty Gritty. We had a power outage this Monday, and I was upset because that was a good episode. But yeah, man. So that's what's going on as far as hip hop that even matters.
My personal opinion on that is that Eminem did it just in general, just to try to wake up some giants in the rap game. Like some sleeping giants. That's my opinion.
I think he was hurt by what Snoop said. I think he's a little bit in his feelings, which is fine. But I haven't completely listened to M's new side B joint. So but you know, shout out to both them dudes. They're both amazing in their own ways. This is just a stupid ass scenario. But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna talk about our top 10 MCs of all time, dead or alive. And I want to bring this up first because Breezy threw in his from the comments, which I love and appreciate, man. Thank you for joining in. So here's Breezy's top 10. Jay-Z, Big, Rakim, Nas, Pac, Eminem, Foxy Brown, wow. Raekwon, Redman, and Snoop. He got Snoop in there. This is a good list. I like this list. I don't agree with all of it, but I agree with most of it.
Yeah, me too.
But that's what this is about, a matter of opinion. I would love, Breezy, if you are out there, I would love you to chime in if you got the time to jump on the show and explain your list, because that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to tell you right now that in my top 5, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you got my top 5 in your first 6. So that's dope. So I think you and me, T, we're going to start out with our first 5. So you got your first 5 ready?
Not necessarily, but like probably most of mine is on there. Like I know M's my number 1 for sure. I'm definitely putting Biggie up there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like number 2, number 3. I'm gonna go with number 2, and then trying to think who else. I like Big L.
Yes.
And then yeah, Big L. Fucking, I'm gonna already put him up there, even though he's like relatively new, like within the last couple of years. Joyner.
Oh,
is
man.
like, yeah, Joyner Lucas. Was that 4 or 5? I don't know.
So you got M, Biggie, Big L, Joyner. You got one more.
I'm gonna go ahead and put Nas on that because I love Illmatic's just an automatic classic, obviously.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about our top 5 albums too. So it would be hard to do a top 10. Now, here's the thing. Breezy got, like I said, 5 of mine in his top 6, and my top 5 is always the same, not necessarily in order. The only one I put first is Rakim, and the reason I put Rakim first is because now, when I'm talking about my top 5, these aren't it doesn't necessarily mean they're my favorite MCs, because as an MC myself, and I'm sure you can relate to this, it's it changes, depending on the mood I'm in. But mine goes as to like contribution to hip hop. And the reason I got Rakim always at number one is because if it weren't for Rakim, we wouldn't have the hip hop we had that we got. I won't say today, because today is just a fucking mockery of good hip hop. Like, I'm mad that they still even call it hip hop, but Rakim is in my number one because he brought complex lyrics to hip hop. Now you can argue Big Daddy Kane, all that. No. Rakim would dust. I think Rakim would dust Kane personally. Kool Mo D, all them cat. I mean, Rakim really just came with it.
I like Kool Mo D. He ain't got nothing on Rakim.
What's that?
I was like, I like Kool Mo D. He ain't got nothing on Rakim.
Yeah, I love, bro, all these guys I'm naming, I love them, man. It's just, as far as hip hop, Rakim set the standard, and we got guys like Nas, Big. You can go into like Q-Tip, A Tribe Called Quest, Phife Dawg. Everybody talks about Q-Tip, but they don't talk about Phife enough, I don't think. Phife was nice. And then you go into, later years like Eminem, who arguably, and we're going to talk a little bit more about Eminem because there's a lot of controversy in talking about that. Yeah, so Rakim's my first always, and then the next don't necessarily go in order is Jay-Z, Biggie, Nas, Eminem. Nas actually kind of falls into number two for me because Illmatic's the reason I fell in love with hip hop. I heard that way too young. Had to sneak that around a lot. And I think I actually was it that tape? I remember being like 8 years old and I had to steal a tape because I couldn't buy it because of the parental advisory sticker. My man,
I remember telling you that. I think it was Illmatic.
I think you might have just been born or were just being born at the time. Kev, that's a solid lit. DMX, that's one people don't talk about a lot. DMX changed. I don't care what everybody talks about workout music. There's nothing better than DMX. You want to get hype, you want to go whoop somebody's ass, put on DMX.
That fucking Go to Sleep joint with fucking
DMX. That was on a Green Lantern mixtape, I think. But DMX, not only that though, he could take you from real hype, ready to go, just snuff somebody, and then he could also get you on that emotional side too. If I die before DMX, somebody get him to pray at my funeral. Yeah, Kev, I agree. You know what I mean? On point. We are, man, you and me are always on. Like, we're on the same page, bro. But yeah, so that's my top five. My reason is their contribution to hip hop. Nas, obviously, for obvious reasons. I think Nas is he falls into my favorite rapper of all time category. I know all of his stuff. I got all of his albums, and he just comes with it every time lyrically, and his cadences, metaphors, dope. Jay-Z, a lot of people don't listen to Jay-Z, and then they judge and critique him, but Reasonable Doubt, that was my go-to album when I was living a different lifestyle and, hustling, not drugs, streetcar money. But when I was living a little bit gully, I kind of lived by that album. If you listen to Reasonable Doubt, it is just perfect through and through, front to back. Reasonable Doubt doesn't get a lot of credit as one of the greatest albums in hip hop, but he gets the Blueprint and the Black album get more love than the Reasonable Doubt album. Biggie, because Biggie was just my idol in the 90s. I mean, that dude, he's the greatest. He's Notorious B.I.G., man. I mean, even if there are people lyrically better than him, the way he did it was just so dope. You notice that Pac is not on that list. I know some of you guys are gonna be like, what the hell? Tupac. Here's the reason that Tupac is not on that list, and he's not in my top 10. Tupac was a great songwriter. Actually, he might be in my top 10. He's a great songwriter. Lyrically, though, I don't care what any of you say. Lyrically, bar for bar, wordplay, cadence, punchlines, metaphors, shadow boxes, Big. Pac was not fucking with Big.
Straight up.
And if Big did enter that battle, Pac would have lost. I mean, you say, hit him up, hit him up. It wasn't even that dope. You know what I mean? His rhyme schemes are very simple. You know, I like Pac. One of my best friends is Pac's cousin. You know, this ain't a disrespectful thing to Pac, but I think Pac, if he were alive now, would respect my opinion because Pac was about keeping it real. I don't like this sacrilege of you can't say that Pac, you know, it's almost if you don't say Pac was the best rapper, it's like sacrilege. People are like, oh my God. It's like, well, come on, man. Really? If he were alive, would you be saying that? Probably not.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm definitely not really a fan of Tupac. It's just his flow, cadence, delivery, all of that you said. It just seems like he's always talking about being his crack fiend mama, which I don't like. People give Eminem shit all day, up and down for that crap, but it's okay for Tupac to do it.
Well,
I don't know. A lot of double standards.
I like Tupac. I ride to Tupac. He's got some bangers, man. But my problem with Tupac is he was very repetitive lyrically. You hear a lot of Hennessy, jealousy, misery, penitentiary, smoking weed. It's like, okay, bro. Like, we get it. A lot of ease, you know. LL was the baddest man, bro. I agree, Kev. He says, I will say, though, LL was a bad man before the soft lovey hits. I agree. The song Bad itself was dope. No rapper can rap quite like I can. I take a muscle bound man and put his face in the stand. Oh, man. LL still gets, you know, he's a legend. May not make my top 10. He might. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about your next 5.
Shit. Probably like there's more independent rappers. I got like basically because I found them myself and I watched them grow and then fall apart. Was most of the people in Funk Volume, like Hopsin, and mainly my favorite two are Hopsin and Jaron Benton.
Yeah.
Jaron Benton, because he's just most of the time he's got like some just really hype stuff. He can also get really emotional, and then his flow like is always changing. He's got like he can do a choppa flow, but he could also bring it to like some more like emotional stuff, and it's just off the wall at the same time. He's got like a South sound, but it's not like freaking oh crap. It ain't like 3-6 Mafia kind of sound. It's really clean cut, and I appreciate that. And in a rap song, I like being able to hear what they're actually saying. God damn it.
Yeah, you also brought up Joyner Lucas on your top 5. And most of the time I wouldn't put a new guy on my top 5, but here's the thing about Joyner Lucas. Joyner Lucas is one of the very, very few new cats that I like that's coming with it. Like, and he's not just coming with it, he's coming with it. Like, you actually put me on a Joyner Lucas. I don't know if you remember that, but
yeah,
we were talking. We were sitting in your garage or something, and you were like, "Yo, check this out." And the first joint you showed me was Backwards.
That's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, I mean, this dude. If you guys haven't heard it, let me tell you, this dude raps a verse and then raps the same verse in reverse, and it still has to make sense. That was the rule he established before. So he raps a verse with words, it makes sense. Then he has to use those same words in reverse, and it still had to make sense, and it made sense. And then what does he do? He does another verse. I mean, the dude is a genius. And then you go Ross Capacchione, which is actually, I found out was a true story.
I watched the video on that before I even heard about Joyner.
Oh yeah, the kid's interview.
Yeah, because it was like on a skating like video or some shit.
Yeah,
He got like, yeah, it was straight up all real. Fucking
yeah,
crazy.
For him to be able to rap that story for that kid, I would like to see that kid's reaction to the song. That'd be dope. But yeah, it was dope. And then he came out with I'm Not a Racist, which is a song basically addressing the racial tension in America right now from both sides of the fence. And another genius cut. But I think the pivotal moment in his career was when Eminem found him, and then he did the joint on Eminem's album. That skyrocketed him into mainstream status, which very few people get on a song with M and don't get bodied. And he was one of those people.
Yeah. Fucking, he just, everything about him, he's always constantly doing something groundbreaking or like really artistic. He's just always trying to step up his game.
Yeah. Yeah. If you guys haven't listened to Joyner Lucas, jump on it. The other one I like is, which I just thought was dope. He has one of his idols growing up was Will Smith, and he did a song called Will. And one of the, how dope would it be? Just put yourself in Joyner Lucas's shoes to write that song. I'm feeling like Will. And then to have Will Smith respond with a verse on that song. So now he has a collabo with Will Smith, who, by the way, I have never thought was a whack rapper. It became popular to consider him corny and to make fun of him, in the late 90s, but the dude has never really come with a whack verse. I'm a Will Smith fan.
I love Will Smith.
When I was back when I was a little kid and I wasn't really allowed to listen to parental advisory, explicit content music, that was what I would listen to in the forefront. I would still listen to the other stuff. I just wouldn't let my mom know about it. But yeah, man, I still like getting jiggy with it. On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro. I know, I feel psycho when my new joint hit. Just can't sit. Gotta get jiggy with it. That's it. I don't care, bro. That was hot. But yeah. Yeah, Will Smith. I was just talking to Breezy about it too. Even some of the stuff that was considered more corny, like his Wild Wild West soundtrack joint. He had dope lines on there, don't let your lip react. You don't want to see my hand where my hip be at. Will's nice with it, man. I wish he would come back out with another album and just sun all these new rappers. I mean, there are people doing it, but Will Smith, Mr. A-list, Mr. $100 million budget movie, could come out and just sun all these rappers. Every single one of them. Migos, I don't care what it is that you listen to. Little Machine Gun, Vertical, whatever the hell his name is, that rainbow hair homo that snitched and made you guys think it was cool to start ratting on people. Like, Will Smith would just sun all of them. Think about that. Hasn't been on the mic much in the last 20 years, but he can still come back Show me a dope verse from one of these guys I just named. And I know I butchered their names, but I don't care about their names. Show me a dope verse. I bet you can't do it. Like, not even close. I haven't, I've given chances to new rap, if you will, if you can even call it that. I've tried to be like, oh, everybody's liking this Cardi B, bitch. Let me check it out. Nope. Garbage. Hot garbage. How did she blow up and Nicki Minaj kind of fell off? I don't know if she fell off. I just haven't heard much from her. Nicki Minaj is way more dope than Cardi B is. Breezy mentioned Foxy Brown. Foxy Brown, come on now. Foxy Brown would dust Cardi B. Foxy Brown could rap. I've not heard one line from Cardi B where I was like, oh, that was nice. Because she sucks. That's the problem. The standard in hip hop is so low now that anybody can do it. Everybody and their mom can do it. I remember when 8 Mile came out and me and my brother Jamal went and saw it. And, it was dope. We liked it, but we came out and it was like, we went to the rich neighborhood to see it. So it was more of a diverse crowd, right? And everybody was trying to battle rap. It was corny as hell. You had like the punk rock kids, the skater kids. And he looked at me and was like, it's going to change everything from here on out. And it really did. Everybody and their mom thinks they could rap. And then you were able to start doing this stuff on like on your laptop. When I was coming up, you had to rent studio time. Yeah, I know that makes me sound old, but I was just talking to my boy Scalebone earlier. It's crazy because me and him, we'll lose touch for a little bit and we'll just pick right back up where we left off. We're like the same person. We don't get offended over shit like that. We ain't got time for all that bitch stuff, but I haven't talked to him in like at least over a year. And then he hit me up, was like, yo, we need to get in the studio, man. I don't care. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm like, yo, you already know. Don't even there's no question. But we were talking about it. Just the standard of hip hop is so low now. People make anything. They just throw it together. We're talking about some people we knew, people we didn't know. But I was honored because he basically was telling me like, yo, like you're the first person I thought of. I was like, all right, man, shout out to you, Scalebone. We used to get down in our group OTS, Only the Strong. I still rep that to the fullest. But yeah, you're back. I was just basically, Breezy brought up Foxy Brown. Compare that to a Cardi B. I've never heard one dope line from a Cardi B. Not one. I don't even know what a Cardi B is.
I don't think I've heard like one Cardi B song, to be honest.
I've heard like, she's one of those ones I can't listen to very long. I'm like Chris Tucker in Rush Hour 2, where he throws the Beach Boys CD out the window. That's me. If any new hip hop. And I cringe saying hip hop because to me, it's not hip hop.
Yeah.
If you didn't pay your dues, battle, you don't classify as an MC to me. Like if you didn't, and now I understand not everybody's a battle rapper, but other things, jumping in ciphers, writing, actually sitting down and writing, putting some thought into it. That's having something to say. That's an MC. Not bitches and hoes and Percocet and lean and like it's repetitive. It sucks. The industry used to be scared of hip hop. Why? Because it was saying something. It scared people. It told people the realities of life that wasn't their own. And now it's all about, it's basically consumerism at its finest now. So, but yo, let me get into my next 5. And my next 5, I'm just throwing in my favorites that weren't on my top 5. And I'm gonna go Elzai. If you don't know about Elzai, he was on the beginning, on the opening, the intro video. That dude is lyrically insane. I gotta throw Crooked Eye in there.
Oh yeah.
Crook's a beast.
Royce.
I gotta throw Redman in there. Damn, I gotta throw no, I'm not gonna say Redman because Breezy took it, but you know how I feel about that. Redman he's up there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna throw Method Man in there. I love the way Method Man raps. I'm not gonna say Raekwon because Breezy threw him in there. I'm gonna throw no, you said Big L, but I love Big L too. I'm gonna throw Razkaz in there. That's a guy that kind of got screwed over by his own actions and the law itself. When I say law, I'm talking about the way labels just slave own some of these people who got shitty deals. He wasn't able to put out an album because Capitol Records didn't let him, because they didn't want him to, because they had some sort of dispute with them. But Razkaz is a West Coast MC wise. I think Razkaz before Crooked Eye was the lyrical pinnacle on the West Coast. And then for my last one, I got to throw somebody in the Bay Area. Yo, the truth is, though, I'm not gonna lie, I'm from the Bay. I'm not a huge fan of the music. But at least any of the new stuff, I didn't jump on the hyphy movement. But you know what? I'm gonna give E40 his props. I'm gonna make E40 my number 5. Lyrically, he's not the best, but the dude's been consistent over the years. And as far as innovation and slang, and there's a lot of slang we use today that came from E40. And he's a Niners fan. I had to throw him in there. Oh, no. Rewind that. I'm sorry. I got to bump E40. I'm going to go Prodigy, Mobb Deep. I can't front on Prodigy. And it's not because he was dead. My brother will tell you right here, I've been a Mobb Deep fan since. Like, I love Mobb Deep. And Prodigy was Prodigy's lyrics and Havoc's beats, along with Alchemist beats. Havoc's dope too, but the way Prodigy raps, he puts so much the dude dealt with sickle cell anemia, and he raps about it very bluntly and clearly about the way it makes him feel. I'm trying to quote the lyrics right now. I'll come back to it, but yeah, Prodigy. That's my guy right there. You still got 2 left though, T.
Yo, actually, I need to bounce. I'm not feeling too well right now.
Oh yeah, you go ahead and do it, man.
All right. Peace, man.
Peace. Yes, that was my brother. He didn't look like he was feeling too well anyway. But yeah, man, those are my top 10 right there. Let me fix this real quick. But yeah, I got a top 5 albums too. So my top 5 albums are quite simple. It's Illmatic, easily. I mean, Illmatic is probably the greatest hip hop album to ever come out. And I put emphasis on ever come out. That album made me want to be a rapper. It made a lot of people want to be a rapper. Not only did it make people want to be a rapper, it made people want to be a good rapper, an MC. Next would be I can't do it in order, but I'm gonna go the Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem, Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z. That's 3. I'm gonna do Ready to Die, Notorious B.I.G. And I think I'm gonna throw Eric B and Rakim, Follow the Leader. Eric B for Prez was tight though. I don't know. That's tough. It's tough to do a top 5 because there's so much hip hop. You know, it's easier to do a top 5 groups of all time. For me, it'd be NWA, Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Slaughterhouse. I got to throw Slaughterhouse in because that was just a collection of dope MCs just cutting it. I love that. But we might have another guest coming in. Let me see. I think he probably heard hip hop and bounced. I see him in the comments saying I'm in there, but I don't see him. Maybe he's in like the lobby or whatever. But yeah, 2 other. Oh, you got to have a Tribe Called Quest in there. Tribe easily. And then I would probably go with, wow, De La Soul was dope. That's tough, man. I'm going to wait on my last one. But I wanted Breezy to throw me his top 5 albums. Breezy's knowledge of music is extensive. And he gets down on music as well. But I liked his list. I don't know. It's hard, man. I like Foxy. He got Foxy on his list. I love that. I love that he had a female rapper on his list. I wish Queen Latifah came out with more because I really liked her as a rapper. Left Eye was a dope MC too. Left Eye was nice. Rest in peace. I forget sometimes that she passed away. But yeah, Left Eye was nice. There's MCs that made my list that didn't make my list that probably should be on there. It's hard because I want to put Pac in my top 10 just because of, I mean, the dude is so huge. He's a tremendous songwriter in general. Tupac had a very dope way of structuring his songs, and what he was doing was different at the time. But the same time, it's just, he has very, very standout songs. And then I feel like a lot of his albums, they're just, they just sound too derivative. But I also understand now, like watching documentaries and listening to people talk about him, he was different in a sense that he liked to bang songs out like one after another. So he kind of rushed. And I think that's kind of why he doesn't really make my top 10. Because I feel like if he took the time as opposed to rushing, he would have had more quality songs like, Dear Mama, Me Against the World. I want to say California Love, but that was all Dre. That was actually supposed to go on a Dre album until Pac came in the mix. But Hail Mary was dope. But if you listen to the rest of the cuts on all the albums that these songs are on, they're very derivative. Like I said earlier, a lot of Hennessy, Jealousy, Penitentiary. It's like, I can't listen to that all day, man. The other ones, yeah. I actually probably prefer Me Against the World over All Eyes on Me sometimes because I like Easy Mo B as a producer. It had more of an East Coast sound. Um, All Eyes on Me was dope, but I don't know. I like that 90s Easy Mo B sound. I know it's sacrilege, right? Can't talk about All Eyes on Me and put another album over it. But I've actually heard somebody tell me that they put Machiavelli over All Eyes on Me. I disagree. Sorry. That album was okay. It was also kind of rushed. And it was also at a time where things weren't really good for hip hop. Death Row breaking up. A lot of people were mad about that. I was. I mean, that was the dream team ultimately. You know, Snoop, Dre, Pop, Dog Pound. Who else? You really didn't need anybody else. I mean, they were crushing record sales left and right. But on the other side, you had Bad Boy, which really at the time was like Craig Mack and the Notorious B.I.G. But they were crushing it too. I think Bad Boy, like it came. Oh, Mace was there too. I forgot about Mace. A lot of people forget about Mace though. I liked Bad Boy like late 90s, early 2000s when you had like Black Rob. What's his name? Shine. Before Shine went to prison, he was dope. Then he came out of prison and he actually did a song or an album from prison or released one while he was in prison of verses that he did before he went to prison. But there was even like a freestyle from the prison phone. That album wasn't that good though. And he did some like try to get into a beef with 50 after he got out. And I think everybody knows that's a mistake because that dude never lets stuff go. But speaking of which, I saw 50 the other day. Fifth, lay off Ja Rule, man. Leave that guy alone, bro. Like, cold-blooded with it, dude. Like, you just won't leave Ja Rule alone. Like, the dude lost. His career is over. But he just lays into Ja and Irv Gotti left and right. Like he ain't got nothing else to do. And, you know, I saw some of their replies that were pretty much irrelevant. I don't trust me. There are things like Irv Gotti is a legend. Irv Gotti as a producer is a legend. I mentioned Reasonable Doubt by Jay-Z earlier. Irv Gotti contributed to that. Can I Live? That was produced by Irv Gotti. I like some Ja Rule cuts too. That I'm From New York joint was hot. And anybody from New York, I'm sure you agree. You can't deny that I'm From New York was hot. Especially I had Jadakiss on there. Damn, why didn't I put Jadakiss on my top 10? This is why it's hard to do a list of top rappers, especially if you have so many. I wish I could show you my CD collection. Yeah, I still buy CDs. Why do I buy CDs? Because I think albums are meant to be heard as albums. I think MP3 is shitty quality. Anybody that knows how to listen to music and sound quality, MP3 is shitty quality. That's why I have Beats headphones. Beats headphones were custom made to kind of clean up some of that MP3 sound. I understand that Bose is better as an all, like a general sound thing, but Beats was designed to clean up MP3, and it does an okay job of it. But yeah, I still buy CDs. I think albums are meant to be heard as albums, seen as albums, everything down to the cover artwork, everything. And I like having a hard copy, man. There's only so much you can do with an MP3 player or your phone. I mean, everybody does it on their phone nowadays, but nah, I like buying CDs. Now I have this stupid broad. I won't say her name too loud, but Alexa. You know, she plays music for me. Her and I, we're in an argument right now. We're not going to say her name. She'll start talking. But yeah, man. And trust me, I got MP3s. I do. I got a lot of downloaded MP3s. But when it comes down to it, I would rather listen to music on a CD player of some type or vinyl. Vinyl's dope too, but the only thing with vinyl is I just don't have the space and time to be getting a collection together. I saw an interview on like Apple something the other day, and it was with Eminem actually, and he showed off his cassette tape collection, which if I had the funds and the space to do it, I probably would do. I actually have some cassettes. I'll bring them out next time and show them, but I have some dope cassettes that I bought. I was a kid. I might have bought them. I might have stolen them. Those parental advice. It's not that I wanted to steal, but those parental advisory stickers and some store owners wouldn't let me buy because of them, so I had to snatch them up. Sorry. I wanted to pay for them, but you know, the world was depriving me of good music. So, but yeah. So we're gonna close it out here pretty soon. But yo, next week, we were supposed to have them on this week, and things got changed up. That's why we're doing this. But we're gonna continue the hip hop conversation next week. Hopefully, Breezy could come on. But I got a very special guest next week. He goes by the name of Iron Emperor. He's a very, I mean, he can spit. He's an MC from the Bronx, New York, to the late one. I'll put it up next week. I was gonna say put up his Instagram or whatever, but I'm gonna let him kind of let you guys know what's going on with what he's got going on. But he's got a dope, couple of dope mixtapes out on SoundCloud. He just dropped one last December, and it just it blew me away. Like, this dude is nice. But yeah, he's gonna come on the show next week. He's got his own podcast, Thoughts with Iron. I think I got that right. Bro, if I didn't get it right, my bad. He knows I watch his show. I tune in and, chime in, leave comments or whatever. So, yeah, he's going to be on next week. Please tune into that. This dude is a very interesting cat. He's got a lot of good thoughts, which is why he can have a podcast. He keeps it no less than real. And his music is something else. It stands out. It's very rare that I say that, especially nowadays, because just people don't really stand out to me. It's like, people aren't really doing something new. Everybody wants to be on that new wave, the latest trend or whatever. I'm not like that. I like to see new stuff. I like to see people innovate, which is why, we were discussing Joyner Lucas earlier. I love Joyner Lucas. That's a dude that implemented 90s lyrics with that 21st, late teens, early 2020 sound, if you will. I don't know what they call it, millennial rap, whatever. He took that sound and put 90s lyrics over it and made it dope. So it's not the music it's not the sound of the music that I hate. It's literally just the lack of lyrics and effort put into creating it. Sit down with the pen, write that shit down. Used to rock this shirt and said, "Shut the fuck up and rap." That's what you guys need to do. Stop coming with bullshit. Don't ask me about the Migos. Don't ask me about I don't know any of their fucking names. They suck. Teriyaki 6ix9ine. Miss me with that. This generation made it cool to rap. Why is it that guy gets to get off? Because he was fake. He made all his money off of I guess they're Bloods in New York now, which baffles me in itself, but whatever, to each his own. Made his fame off of them. And then when he got in trouble doing some stuff, he got to, basically be a stool pigeon and get back into fame. And people just welcomed him with open arms, which is garbage. That wouldn't fly in the 90s ever. It wouldn't fly in the early 2000s, to be honest. I remember there was a lot of hype over that with 50 Cent. A lot of people saying he was a rat, and that dude came out with like paperwork to show that he wasn't. But we knew it was changing years ago. That's why I didn't jump on the what I stopped liking hip hop like back in the Mike Jones and Paul Wall days and all that. You had these dudes with some stupid song called like Laffy Taffy. I saw hip hop really going downhill there. I didn't think that it was going to go this bad, but it did. I didn't think rappers were going to start dressing like girls. That's ridiculous. Like, it's just not hip hop, man. It's the antithesis of everything that hip hop is what you see now. What it was supposed to be, I should say. The other two groups, by the way, I know it took me time to. I didn't even throw in Run DMC. Run DMC, of course. Like, come on. Yeah, Run DMC was innovative, man. I mean, the reason we have hip hop the way hip hop is today, they were the first guys to come out dressed in the way they did. Street clothes. So yeah, Run DMC. Last one, Beastie Boys. I don't care what anybody says, Beastie Boys were dope. No, it's not because they're white. I really don't even like white rappers, to be honest. I like being one of the very few. Beastie Boys, they didn't sound like white rappers. They sounded like Run DMC with, I don't want to say they sounded like Run DMC, but they had that 80s sound like really on lock. And they sounded like kids who knew they were talking about when it came to hip hop. But yeah, the other guy I mentioned though, Elzhi, man, you guys really need to look him up. That dude is insane. He does this song, like he does a verse where he teaches you how to rap and like breaks it down to a science. I'm gonna look it up and then I'll post it in my Twitter. You guys can check it out or whatever. But yeah, I think Paige Kennedy is on that song, which I had no idea that guy was a rapper. He's okay. Kind of surprising. I don't know, what is Paige Kennedy? Is he a comedian or just an actor? Somebody let me know, because I don't know. But yeah, that's dope. But yeah, as I was saying though, we're gonna have Iron Emperor on next week. It's gonna be a good episode. We're gonna delve more into this hip hop stuff. We're gonna go more into. He's very well educated in hip hop. My brother's a little bit younger, so I didn't really expect him to get into all those underground groups of the 90s, like Mecca and the Soul Brother, and that's another one. A lot of people don't know about that. Mecca was dope. Brand Nubian. So many, but we're gonna get into them, and I'm gonna do this differently. I'm gonna be writing stuff down. We'll be putting pictures up and all that for reference, because sometimes people can't, they don't recognize what I'm talking about, and then I throw up a picture or an album cover, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I used to listen to that cut." So we're gonna do that. It's gonna be a good episode. Plus, you get to be introduced to some new music when I bring on Iron, because the dude is nice. You're gonna like him. And hopefully Breezy can come on too, because he's back east. So is Iron. I might make a little connection. You never know. You guys might see it live right here, a hit album in the works. But yo, you know what time it is. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Anthony, Breezy, thank you for jumping in. Kev, my man, Melissa, everybody, thank you so much. Obviously, everybody didn't comment because there were more people watching than there were comments. But yo, you guys are the best. You guys, Kev, Anthony. Well, Anthony, Anthony works with me on other shows. Me and Breezy work together. Melissa, Kev, you guys stay real loyal and faithful to everything we do here at the network and on the other networks, on the other shows, Nitty Gritty Niners. You guys are the best, man. And I hope you guys tuned into the Extreme show earlier. If you guys don't know what that is Ant-Man and Breezy breaking down films that you can stream. And it's a good show, man. Tonight they just broke down The Fifth Element, which is kind of slept on. But yo, I might watch that tonight. I love The Fifth Element. I know this ain't that movie show, but this is Shots in the Dark. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. That's why we call it Shots in the Dark. Because I'm basically shooting random. I can talk about whatever I want. But yeah, check that show out. It's good. And Breezy's made for this, man. He ain't like me where I'm like, just talking, like having a conversation with you. Breezy knows, he's about this shit. He can podcast and do shows. He's made for it. He do music. That dude's a Swiss Army knife. That dude's the Delaney Walker of entertainment. So check out all those other shows. Ant-Man's got his joint coming out, his network, Midlife Crisis. I need to bring up his Twitch account as well. He does other stuff, like he does game on his Twitch account and he live streams it. And it's just funny as hell, man. He was playing a Star Wars game the other night, Fallen Order. And me and my girl was sitting here watching it. It's like if Jedi were from Brooklyn. Shit was hilarious, man. But you're going to see us more on Galactic Basics. That's my Star Wars channel because, yes, I'm a nerd. If you got a problem with it, you can get smacked too. He's going to be on there. We got another show coming Friday, possibly a guest. I don't know. People get flaky or scared of the camera. I don't know. Either way, him and me are going to be rocking it like we always do. Next week, we got Iron Emperor. Yet again, I had to promote that. Please tune in. You're going to love what you hear. If you're a fan of hip hop, you need to tune in because we're going to delve more into this hip hop stuff. We're going to really dig down into some underground work. We're going to go down into songs. We might even do a top 10 songs of all time, but we're definitely going to get into more of the albums. And I want to hear what he has to say about it. He's got some dope. I bet any amount of money Joe Budden is on his top 5. I'm going to just put you. And I bet you Elzai's on his top 5. Betting. Not saying I know. I'm betting. Anybody wants to bet, leave a comment, leave a little mark on Twitter or whatever. Whoever liked, thank you so much. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Shoot the Breeze Network on YouTube. We're really trying to up that right now. We're on every platform and people watch from different platforms, but make sure you subscribe to it. We'll be back next week with my guest, diving more into this. Thank you so much. Peace.
It's crazy out here, man. There's a lot going on in the streets. There's a lot going on in the ghettos of the mind. I'm saying I write rhymes. Check. Feel my pain like it was yours. Crack addicts busting right through my doors. Bleeding on my lawn, I'm destined to be great. I swear, Jesus, read it on my palm, tipsy.